Our next guest has just a gazillion things going on, as he always does.
This past couple of years have been could be a career high for him.
Yeah, we've had the opportunity to speak to him many times over the years. He's a great guy, and we appreciate him coming on this morning because, like I said, he's just busy as hell. But you can catch him in Peacemaker Season 2. New episodes you find Thursdays on HBO. Please welcome the one and only Frank Grillo.
Hey. What's up, fellas?
How you doing, man? It is good to see you.
I'm good. It's good to see you, too. I'm in my robe. I don't know if you could see that.
No. We heard the story when the original request came in. You, and I think rightfully so, said, I don't do anything before 7. So
No. Not at my age, man.
That part of your life is over.
Don't give me that your age stuff. Well, you just turned 60 recently?
Yeah, man. And, it takes me about 45 minutes to get out of bed.
Well, first off, you're 60 with what, 5% body fat?
6.
Wow. You bastard. And also, it's not, I don't think it's ridiculous or hyperbole, Frank, to say it's a career high. I mean, you've always been working, but the stuff that you're involved with James Gunn, I mean, you're MCU and DC now in the strongest way possible with the Superman movie, Peacemaker, Creature Commandos. I mean, that's pretty freaking
Tulsa,
awesome.
You can't leave out my guy
Tulsa
King, man.
Yeah.
Tulsa King, yeah. I mean, it's and we're going back to start season 4 in end of October. So yeah, I'm excited. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm surrounded by really, really great, not just human beings, but great talent. And I feel at this point it's kind of like a renaissance, a TV renaissance, and it's been extraordinary. So I feel blessed. Yeah.
Hey, Frank, you know what? I speaking of those 3 projects in particular, Peacemaker, Superman, and Creature Commandos, I had a listener text in earlier this morning. You're playing Rick Flag in all 3 of those. Are you doing the exact same approach to the character in all 3, or do you take a little bit of a different one with each different project? How do you work that out?
Well, that's a great question. It's funny because in each one of those things, Rick Flag's job title changes. Mm-hmm. So as you guys know, along with, rising up the ladder, the corporate or military ladder, with that change comes change in behavior. You become the boss, and all of a sudden you become a little bit more of an a-hole. So that's what
it always stands to reason. But I notice subtle differences, and obviously you're saying the context will determine the performance. But
right.
the way you're executing it. Now, Peacemaker, we certainly, listen, at its core, we understand, the guy killed your son.
Yeah, I got to tell you, and people go, "Oh, you're the bad guy." I'm like, no, he killed my son.
Brutally,
no bad guy.
Yeah. And I have to ask this: you have John Cena, one of the nicest guys,
yes, man.
Athlete, wrestler. You are a top level fighter, but yet when you're shooting a fight scene, to have someone who's spent a career reacting to fights and being very theatrical about it, it had to be a blast because there's a whoop-ass scene that takes place. You just kick his ass. That had to be pretty cool, right?
Oh man, Cena is an exemplary human being. He really is. Yeah. I mean, I'm in awe of what the guy is capable of. But it's always fun whether it's with Cena, or Sly or anybody. Whenever you're sparring, either intellectually or physically, to me it's a hoot. And to get in there with Cena, who knows how to throw his big, gigantic body around. And he's known for that. He's the biggest wrestler on the planet. So I get to abuse him physically. And there's one kick that I give him in episode 5. I kick him to the head. Yeah. And I just did a Comic-Con, and people actually came up to me and said, "Did you really kick John Cena in the face?" And I'm like,
I know exactly what you're talking about, because I could tell that was some sort of martial arts something. Because it looks so good. I mean,
it's a great kick. It's a great knee. It's a knee that I learned many, many years ago. And if you're ever fighting somebody and you want to get that last lick in, and the guy's on the ground, a knee to the neck or face really does the job.
Are you choreographing at all? Are they asking for your input?
Yes. I mean, because I have a specific. I mean, every movie I've ever done. I have a specific knowledge of fight choreography, and it'd be stupid not to ask me questions.
Yeah.
So that knee to the neck was my idea. I said, we're going to put a cherry on this.
Yeah.
And he's got a full dummy. I said, put the dummy down and shoot this from here. I'm gonna kick him in the face. Oh, wow. It's got to be so brutal that this guy killed my son. That it's got to be so unapologetically brutal. And the great thing about James Gunn is, if you watch the show, whether it's nudity or sex or violence, he's unapologetic.
Oh yeah,
so
there's a full blown orgy in the right.
That was the first episode I saw, and I took my son up to their offices at Warner Brothers, and I said, "This is going to be great," and I forgot about the orgy scene. And I've seen some dirty stuff, but it was filthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Frank, as adept in you and John are physically doing what you do, obviously the studios will only let you do so much. There are stunts that you're not allowed to do because you're the face, you're the actor. You can't get hurt. But throughout your career, are there moments where you're like, man, I'd like to take a crack at that one, meaning a stunt in particular?
As far as the fighting and stuff goes, there's never been a time where they say, tone it down or you can't do this. If it's a fall, or sometimes I love driving. I still ride with my kids. I still ride my dirt bikes every weekend and stuff. Sometimes they'll pull it back and they say, you can't get on the bike. And, but as far as the fighting, I have free reign.
Okay.
That's great. It's cool. And you have a resume that says this guy can do this.
Yeah.
So on Tulsa King, Stallone, you've always been very upfront about your admiration for Sylvester Stallone. We adore him, obviously, here in Philadelphia.
Of course, man.
Yeah. And it was he himself. Did he reach out and say he wanted you as part of the show?
Oh, yeah. A couple of years back now. Wow, it's so crazy how time flies. Yeah, I was laying in bed I told the story. I was laying in bed on a Sunday morning with my girlfriend, and the phone rang and said Rocky. and I'm like, this is weird. Rocky. And he called and he pitched me the idea. And I said, Sly, I said, I've been waiting for this call since I'm 8 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And he's now become a buddy and a peer. And, we do a lot of FaceTime calls and stuff. And it's never lost on me that I'm friends with the guy who was at one point in my life and still is in many ways a hero of mine.
It's great.
Yeah, it is. It really is a pinch me kind of thing. And my only regret is that my two parents didn't live long enough to see my relationship with Stallone, because my father, Stallone could do no wrong by my father. Yeah,
that's pretty true.
By the way, we're doing this interview via Zoom, and number one, you're sideways. I don't know if you can turn your phone or not. Okay, there we go.
Your girl told me to put it that way.
All right, and then the other thing,
you should fire her, guys.
Done and done.
She's awesome.
Sometimes when we do these Zoom interviews, we have a guest star for a moment, and somebody came behind you and grabbed a laptop computer behind you. Is that your son?
Oh, that was my son.
How old is he?
My son is 28. Wait, did I lose you guys?
No, good.
So my son Remy, he lives with me. He's 28, but I want him to. It's not that I can't get rid of him. And he works for and with one of my dear friends, Gavin O'Connor, who's about to shoot a TV show for Paramount, and he works with Gavin. He's about to go to work. God bless him. You're a good boy, son. And so he's great. He's on the Paramount lot every day, and he's in the business too, and he's doing a bang up job. And I've told him I want him to live in my house with me until he feels time to go out.
I love it,
and not waste money.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing with my oldest. Yeah, and he's 25. Yep,
we've had Gavin O'Connor in studio a couple times. Frank, I think once to promote maybe The Accountant. He's worked with our buddy Brad Inglesby, who's a terrific writer from our area.
Brad Inglesby's a stud.
He is total stud. Yeah, and I don't know if you've had a chance to catch Task, but Brad's behind that, and it's so awesome. What's your son doing with Gavin O'Connor?
Gavin O'Connor's doing a show for who's it for, Hulu? I'm not supposed to say much. Okay. He's doing a show. Chris Maloney has to do with football.
Oh, cool.
Really serious, like even more so than Friday Night Lights. And Gavin's the guy to do it because, as you know, he directed Miracle and Warrior, and was a badass football player at Penn himself. So it's gonna be great. Watch this. My 28-year-old son. Go ahead, give me a kiss, bud. He was gonna kiss me goodbye.
He can't do it. Do
Because
it.
we're Italian.
You're
And then he
Italian.
left. You know what?
Yeah.
Okay, pal.
You know, I was watching a video of you talking about your sons, and obviously they train, but you say it's a goal of yours with all the stuff you're doing to make sure that until you're being put into a box, you can still beat their asses.
Yeah, man. I could be. He's going to the gym right now before he goes to work. I used to do this too with Warrior, with Kingdom.
Yeah.
He'll go to the gym as early as he needs to before work, and then go to the Paramount lot and go to work. He's going to box right now, but I can whip his ass.
Do you know what I think is great too, Frank? You and this is something that we talked about for years, and you've been, and I obviously I follow you on all these things, and you'll pop up on YouTube feeds, and there's a couple of guys I follow who are, whether they be bodybuilders or MMA or whatever, and you're talking about your regimen and testosterone and
Right.
all the stuff that you do. And for so long, there was this sort of bizarre, hey, how did that guy pack on 50 pounds of muscle?
So stupid.
And just recently we saw Dwayne Johnson, for whatever reason, maybe it's health or heart or whatever, he's not on the same regimen. You see him in a more normal frame. And it was, I think, in a way, and I think you were sort of saying this, it set unrealistic goals for guys who could be killing themselves.
Oh, and they are, man.
And they
People,
are.
Listen, I train at Gold's Gym sometimes in Venice, and every once in a while, it's like, Joe Schmo's missing. What happened? Oh, his heart exploded. Oh, why? Well, because he takes more steroids than a cow. And so, it's also, I want my kids to know also that I tell them everything I do, you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's not for you. It's not for you right now. It might be at some point, but, at my age, testosterone is a replacement, therapy for me that really works. But I let them know, I educate them what it is that I'm doing. And I just don't get all, and I have respect for everyone except for people who lie about shit that they do, man. I'm like, the people who are judicious about this, I can see what you're doing. It's like you're not eating chicken and broccoli 6 times a day and putting on 60 pounds of pure, lean muscle. That does not happen to the human body.
And you're right, because your efforts and people like you, people become more aware, and they realize that's science fiction. And you're under medical supervision. And you also, by the way, you put in the work all the time.
All the time, man. You don't just take a pill or take a shot and your body looks. It's not like face fillers where women stick shit in their face and they don't have lines in their faces. Which, by the way, don't do that either.
Oh, by the way, don't say the S word. We're on terrestrial radio.
Okay.
I took care of it, but it's all good.
But I'm like, listen, if I'm doing it, I'm going to tell you I'm doing it. I'm not afraid to tell you I'm doing it. And then they go, you're on other stuff and you're taking HGH. Okay, hold on. I'm 163 pounds. I'm on no other stuff. I've never taken HGH. This is what I do. I do testosterone once a week. And not all the time. Sometimes I come off it. Sometimes I'm away in Europe and I don't have it. And I don't travel with needles. So
that's a good advice.
But it is funny that there's such this taboo about being. It's like it's not 1974 where people bringing in steroids from Tijuana.
Right. Well, Schwarzenegger used to. There was a thing. The old adage used to be, and I know you do weightlifting as well, and a whole bunch of stuff. But the old adage used to be Schwarzenegger won his competitions because he had better doctors, but he also had the physical frame. He put in the work.
Exactly.
But I mean, you have to be smart about it all. Is basically what you're putting out there.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a whole thing. Listen, I box in the morning. And I do strength and conditioning at night. I train all the time, probably too much. I mean, I'm always training. And so, I tell people that there's no magic pill. I don't care what testosterone, what drug you take. If you don't train, if you don't do the work, like anything, the effects will probably not be as great as they could be.
Right.
So, and people don't, what? Human beings are lazy.
Yes, I am.
In your industry, though, and it's something that this is a business practice for you as well. I mean, at 60, to be in the shape that you're in, with the career going as well as it is, and it's not just simply because of the physicality. You're a damn good actor as well. But I mean, this is an investment. It's the same way for years people would balk at the salaries that athletes make, not realizing they're ripping their bodies apart in a concise period of time, and they've got to take the long game in mind, which is what happens when they can no longer perform. And so, I mean, you have to look at the future in your career, and are things clear now as far as longevity, or how are you playing it?
As far as my health or my career?
Both.
As far as my health, like everything I do for me. I don't really think about my career. I mean, I do less and less physical stuff. I turn down. I don't do these kind of little movies anymore where I've lost the desire and the romance to do that. Like I want to move on and try to do other stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want it to overshadow really what I do. I'm a great actor, and so I do want Not unlike Dwayne Johnson, I know why he's losing all that weight. He's losing all that weight because he wants to kind of break that shell, which is really about the most difficult thing to do in Hollywood. You know, Jim Carrey wanted to not be a comedic actor at some point. He wanted to be taken, quote unquote, seriously, and then you didn't see Jim Carrey anymore. Like people did. It really is hard. I just was with Dwayne. I went to a screening he had for his film coming up, The Smashing Machine, and he is really a lot leaner than he's ever been. And, it's because he wants, A, it's better for him health-wise, and that's A. A far down B is he needs to look a different way if he wants to play different roles. And so, good for you, Dwayne. Like, live long. Don't be one of those gigantic big guys who you can't put in a coffin at 50.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
Exactly, because it is taxing on your body. You've diversified in your roles with Ferrari and taking things out for a spin. You seem to be in a sweet spot now, even with Rick Flag and the encounters in Peacemaker. There are moments of a quiet interaction, and it's not all beating the piss out of Cena. And the character is, I think, one of my favorite kinds of characters, because if he's a villain in any manner, you can understand where he's coming from, and you can see. I mean, the lead character, Peacemaker, murdered your son. And
other people.
And other people.
Yeah, and other people.
Yeah.
So how do we kind of, just because he's an aw shucks kind of guy, do we forgive all the sins?
Right. And I love that.
And that's what this is what Gunn is great at. He's like, nobody's all good, nobody's all bad. And that's people.
Yeah, and that's good writing. So you worked with David Cornsweet in Superman. He's a local guy. And I think you described him when you first met him as, you said, that guy's Superman. How was
he's everything I'm not. Like he's, like when I started acting, I was on a soap opera. I kind of came through the back door. I didn't have formal training, blah, 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 blah. I'm not 6'3", blah, blah, blah. The guy is stunningly beautiful. He's 6 foot, however the hell tall. I can't even count that high. And he was a Juilliard trained actor.
Yeah.
And so this guy's destiny is being fulfilled. Do you know what I mean? And Superman will be a role that he has played, and I think he's going to go on to do many, many fantastic, wonderful things. He has a real firm grasp on who he is and what he's capable of. I mean, he didn't just show up on the set of Superman and say, okay, I'll do this, He had an opinion, a very strong opinion. And I've seen David in other things, and he is a phenomenal actor.
He's terrific. Well, didn't you study under the same acting coach with the...
Me, I studied under Leota. Leota and I had the same coach. Jim Gandolfini and I had the same. For a very long time. Harold Guskin, the beautiful Harold Guskin, who's since passed. In the West Village in New York for years and years and years. And he was he was like our guru. Kevin Kline, Glenn Close, a couple of good names.
Just a couple.
And so, my training was like, it's just like boxing. It's like I just went and found the best available coaches to me. And I paid the money to go learn the way I wanted to learn.
Yeah,
and that's what I did with that. And you know what? My 8-year-old son was in a movie with me called Boss Level with Mel Gibson and Naomi Watts. And my 8-year-old son did a bang-up job because the director, Joe Carnahan, said, imagine this. And so my son did. He imagined that, and that's kind of what acting is.
Yeah. Have you always been this determined?
Yeah, I always have been, and everything I do, it's like I don't care whether it's learning how to fix a stove. I am going to learn I'm going to learn every part of the stove, how it works, why it works, how long it should work.
Yeah.
And so I'm probably a little bit on the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, one of my kids is a bit on the spectrum, so I probably handed that down to him. Sorry, Liam. But yeah, I try to implement that kind of grit. That's what it is. I'm you know, not super talented and I'm not super like physically endowed, but it's the grit. I think people who have grit, you know, tend to get what they set out to do.
You know, you mentioned Joe Carnahan, and one of my all-time favorite movies is The Gray. Is so damn good. There are times I'll just put on some of the dialogue scenes from that closing speech that Liam Neeson gives, and it's beautiful stuff. So you in a way with James Gunn and Carnahan, you've developed these relationships with these directors and writers who, you know, it's on a level like a DiCaprio, Scorsese, you know, and that's the same sort of realm. There has to be a comfortability with working with a director that gets you, you know, and gets what you can bring.
Yeah, and then, you know, look, Joe had then become my partner. We've made 7 or 8 things together, including a docuseries, and Joe and I are incredibly close. And for my money, he's one of the best guys in the business. He really is, and his best movie is in front of him.
Yeah.
In fact, he's got a movie called The Rip coming out with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon that's going to knock people's socks off it on Netflix. Yeah, and guys like Gavin O'Connor who recognized something, you know, at 38 years old, you know, he put me in Pride and Glory, and then Warrior, and that kind of changed my movie career. And then Joe put me in The Gray, and these guys have become lifelong friends. And all of us guys, we are very similar men, very similar the way we're very stoic guys, and we kind of raise our children the same way, and we see the world the same way, and don't get caught up in a lot of the Hollywood stuff, and so we marched to the beat of that drum, and we've stayed. You know, those are my brothers.
Yeah,
and
you can tell
with my son Remy, when you know he directed a film. But he wasn't ready to direct another film, and Gavin was directing this, and I said, call Gavin, see if you could shadow him. And Gavin said, no, you come work for me. Come be my guy, my right hand, and I will show you. I'll give you a PhD in preparation, shooting, and post.
Wow.
And so that's priceless.
Yeah.
So you're headed to Ireland soon to film
tomorrow.
Something. Yeah. Are you working with any of those guys?
No. I'm going to work with a young guy named Jordan Downey who wrote and directed this amazing, beautiful little script. It's a 2-hander, and I hand chose Maria Bakalova, who's in Creature Commandos with me. She was nominated for an Oscar for the Borat movie. And we're going to go sit in a quarry in Belfast for 4 weeks. And it's basically just a 2-hander, and it's really, really cool. I don't say much about it, but I'm so excited.
What's a 2-hander? I don't know what that means.
It's just 2 people really in the movie.
Oh, okay.
But it's dynamite, and I think it's gonna. I think for what it is, and for the timing of what's going on in the world, it'll be really interesting to see how it's received.
Okay. I got to tell you something. Like the first time you came into the studio a number of years ago, one of our absolute favorite guests have always been. So it's been sort of a thrill, and you were super kind on the set of Civil War to give us a call from your trailer when they put you in your so that we would have liked more of that. But I mean, you know, I think you're in the sweet spot now with James Gunn in the DC universe, and dude, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. It's so cool to
thanks,
see.
Brother. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to continue. The Rick Flag is going to be around for a minute, and we've got something really cool that they just told me about that's going to be happening after Tulsa King. And so, you know, fingers crossed it just continues, and I can continue to pay for my children.
And I want to point out to our audience that Casey reached out to Frank last week and got back immediately and was like, "Yeah, I'd love to come on."
Yeah,
with you guys.
thank you.
I love you
really
guys,
cool.
Man. We've had a long running relationship.
Yeah.
We have, Some of a lot of fun. You're the best, Frank.
All right, Peacemaker season 2 available now. Tulsa King season 3 available now as well. And when you got other stuff coming up, we want to hear about it for sure.
Always,
right,
man. I love you guys.
Love you, buddy. All right, Frank Grillo, guys. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I love his son walking by. It's great.
Yeah, that's smart, though.
Great if you give him a kiss. And
Trust your family, right?
I love it, man.
Marissa wanted me to ask him to take his robe off.
Oh, dude is cut up.
You can't believe it.
And like you said, just lean and cut.
And by the way-
and flexible. He's just a badass.
An ungodly amount of friggin' hair.